What's going on, you guys? AJ Tucker here with AJ Self Defense. And back-to-back days, I got two stories in my area. One really close to my city. A 16-year-old girl and a 7-year-old girl were both rescued from human trafficking. The first one went down in Plano at the shops at Legacy, where the pimp, he tried to take the girls to get her nails done, and they got into an argument. There's a video, and it's on my channel. There's a video where he stomps her foot, he slaps her, grabs her, throws her in the car. And people are kind of converging, but nobody's really doing anything. But finally, she keeps getting out of the car, and finally there was too many people around, and he had to run off. The guy ended up getting 59 years in prison. He thought that he was going to be able to scare her to not testify, and by doing that, he thought that he wasn't going to get in trouble. But they are tightening up those loopholes right there. So they're putting new rules in place to where you can't get off like that anymore. So another story that I saw is about a 16-year-old runaway. I'm going to read this story real quick. It's very short, and that's another thing I want to talk about. But Mansfield police, that's my city, so I am actually in Mansfield, Texas. So this hits close to home. Mansfield police and the Tarrant County Human Trafficking Task Force recently rescued a 16-year-old runaway from trafficking and arrested Brandon Williams for trafficking a person or child. Man, 40 years old, Brandon Williams. That name sounds familiar, really. Early this month, the task force got a tip that a 16-year-old runaway was posting commercial sex ads online, according to the Tarrant County Sheriff's Office. The task force located the ads, which were being posted from a motel in West Fort Worth. The task force reached out to the person posting ads, posing as decoys in order to get access to the 16-year-old. The sheriff's office said that when undercover deputies arrived to the motel, an adult man left the room where the meeting took place. The 16-year-old answered the door and Williams was arrested. So that's crazy, man. So she was basically a 16-year-old. Like, there's so many things wrong with this. A 16-year-old girls were putting ads online. It's like, wait a minute, how are these ads popping up? Who are getting these ads? Or are they going to a site? So those are different things that need to be known. This story was very short. Now, for years, I've had a problem with these type of stories where unless it bleeds, it leads when it comes to the news. So what I mean by that is when people escape, they keep it really short, and they don't really tell us how that person escaped, how that person was saved, and further details like how she got into that situation. They do explain that she was a runaway, but they don't go deeper than that. Now, if somebody was murdered, you get every detail on every person. Like, you get their whole life story explaining how it happened. Well, it's too late then. But when it gets to the point where, somebody escapes like this, the story is very short. Now, on one end, it might say, well, you're going to give them, you don't want to give criminals ideals on how they are caught. Criminals know this stuff, and they just don't care, all right? But people, they don't realize how often this stuff is happening, where this stuff is happening, and how and what they can do to help. And I feel like by keeping these stories so short and not talking about them in more depth, it kind of facilitates this stuff. It makes it easy for these guys to do this kind of thing. So she was a runaway. I don't know if she was voluntarily there with the guy, or I don't know if she ran away and the guy like trapped her in this situation. Both are wrong. Both are wrong, but it's good to know that stuff and how this stuff takes place. Because a lot of people that I work with as far as self-defense, the parents, they mostly think it's all about a snatch and grab. They think that somebody's going to jump out of a van and grab your kid and this and that. But more often than not, these things happen in runaway situations, or somebody, promises them a better life, and then they trap them in that scenario. And so in this case, there was being ads posted online, and it's like, man, sex trafficking is I hear two different reports that sex trafficking is a $150 billion a year industry worldwide, and then I heard other reports where it's a $32 billion industry. I believe more it's the $32 billion industry. That's still a lot of money, but that's the one that I've heard more consistently. $150 billion. I mean, it may be that if you count OnlyFans and boyfriends pimping out their girlfriends on seeking arrangement and things of that nature. So there's so many sites that are facilitating this type of stuff. Technology is great, but it's facilitating more sex trafficking than ever. And it's very hard to combat because there's so much money involved. There's so many important people involved in it too. And when I say that, there are people of higher positions that have these type of appetites that don't want this stuff to stop. So anyway, that's all I got for this one, man. Right up the street, man. That's, you know, the 16-year-old girls that run away with the Mansfield police was involved. Is probably someone that, you know, goes to school, one of my kiddos that could be in my neighborhood, and I don't even know it. So anyway, that's all I got for this one, man. I'll see you on the next one.